Yes! Going back to the NBA Finals. First time in 10 years. It's been a long time coming for the Lakers. LeBron James back in the NBA Finals. Finals appearance number 10 for him. And I bet some people are thinking, oh, he should have lost the series so he doesn't risk going 3-7 in the finals, right? Yeah, because those finals record people. But bro, I'm so happy right now. Oh yeah, let's go Lakers. Alright, before we get going, let's cue the intro. Okay, so my Los Angeles Lakers are back in the NBA Finals for the first time since 2010. I was 16 years old back then. And you know, I had this right here the whole time. Just real quick. Because we gotta do it for Kobe this year. Job's not done yet though. Still got 4 more to go. But I can tell you right now, I'm ecstatic to be going back to the NBA Finals. And I'm not gonna lie, I actually really thought that this was the year for the Clippers, but nope. I'm so glad to see the Lakers back in it. I just thought that the Clippers had too much depth, but you know what though? More importantly, the Lakers have the chemistry, the coaching, LeBron and AD. Like I've said so many times before, even in just year 1, they look like they played together forever. Playoff Rondo, Dwight Howard playing a role. 7 years ago, he became a villain in LA for the disaster that happened when he was supposed to take over for Kobe as the face of the franchise. I remember that game against the Rockets when Dwight Howard was on the Rockets, when he came back to the Staples Center and got booed every time he touched the ball, when Kobe called him soft and all that. And he had some success in his first year in Houston, but then the problem with James Harden, and then how he became a journeyman afterwards when he was a superstar in Orlando, and to come back where he was once vilified, and now, even though he's not what he used to be, to still have an important part of the team's success. Yeah, I'm really happy for Dwight Howard to be able to accept being a role player now and being able to play the role to the best of his ability when he was a superstar in his prime. And he's a future Hall of Famer. Great job by Dwight Howard. LeBron James with another 30-point triple-double. That makes it his 27th career playoff triple-double. Now just 3 short of Magic Johnson's playoff record. Now what this means for LeBron. Right now, I still say Michael Jordan's the GOAT. LeBron's a very close second. They win this year, which they very much should. I think that this makes him an even closer second. However, if they win next year, considering the circumstances are definitely going to be tougher, we'll talk about that pretty soon, then I think that you can really say LeBron has dethroned Michael Jordan. But for now though, LeBron James is very much approaching Michael Jordan for that GOAT status. And Anthony Davis, yeah, he may not be rebounding much, but he's definitely getting the job done scoring-wise. Danny Green, who I've been critical before in the past about his playoff performances, I gotta give it to him for Game 5. He actually played really well this time. But the main thing though, LeBron making it to his 10th career NBA Finals, and this time he should win. He should go 4-7 instead of 3-7 if he does lose, but he has no reason to lose this time. But I also gotta talk about the Denver Nuggets, man. They deserve their respect. They fought hard throughout this series and throughout these playoffs. I didn't even think that they'd come back from 3-1 against Utah, to be honest. And then to do it against the Clippers, against Kawhi Leonard and Paul George, a lot of respect for them for that. Honestly, no one was giving them a chance, and they proved their doubters, like myself, wrong. And Jamal Murray's emerging as a star player in this league. He legit looked like a superstar in these playoffs. Nikola Jokic, definitely a top 10 player in the NBA. And then they got guys like Michael Porter Jr. and Jeremy Grant emerging and being a big part of the Nuggets' success. And they're going to be a key part of the Nuggets' future too, as long as these guys stay together. And also to do this without Will Barton, who's been another key role player for them. And this offseason, Paul Millsap's $90 million contract expiring, and he's 35 now. Yeah, he's definitely not going to get another $30 million a year contract again. We'll see what happens though. I mean, maybe he comes back at a discount, but I don't know, but the Nuggets have some money to spare now because Paul Millsap's contract is coming to an end. So yeah, next year the Nuggets are going to scare me a little more, and this is also why I think that the Clippers' best chance at winning a finals was this year. They blew it. Next year is more like their last. Well, it could be unless they do end up re-signing Kawhi and PG, but we'll see. And Mike Malone's a hell of a coach. Who knows with the buffoonery in Sacramento? When he was in Sacramento, they looked like they had a bright future. And Boogie was hurt, and then they started to struggle. Then they fired Mike Malone, and they never recovered. Now they're stuck with Luke Walton. And I'll admit, in LA, I actually gave Luke Walton the benefit of the doubt. But now in Sacramento, he's only better than Jim Boylan, and that's a really, really low bar to set. Yeah, Luke Walton, to be honest, is not a good coach. And he was just playing off Steve Kerr's system when he was taking over for Steve Kerr in 2016, or in the 2015 to 16 season. But man, the Lakers going back to the finals for the first time since I was 16 years old, after all that we've been through. Getting swept by the Mavs in 2011. 2012 lockout shortened season. That wasn't supposed to be a championship season anyways. But 2012 to 13 season, the failed super team. Kobe tearing his Achilles, which happened to be the beginning of the end for him. And getting swept in the first round by the Spurs. Then, after all that, from then on, it just went way downhill to having guys like Kendall Marshall and Jody Meeks and Wesley Johnson in our starting lineup. The 2015 season, Jordan Clarkson made the all-rookie first team, and
it was a lost season, so around the time Jordan Clarkson started getting minutes and started thriving,
I was really mostly paying attention to him, like, okay, we got a rookie doing some really good things. This is our bright spot, as bad as this team is. And Kobe being plagued by injuries towards the end of his career, the D'Angelo Russell snitching incident, Kobe scoring 60 in his last game, that's something that I'll definitely never forget watching. It still didn't get much better for the following years. Still rebuild mode. Then LeBron comes, alright, there's some hope, but then the team is derailed by injuries, miss the playoffs again. Get Anthony Davis, nice, okay, we can really do something, but then the Clippers get Paul George and Kawhi Leonard. Yikes. But in the end, the Lakers are the last one standing in the Western Conference this year. Even this year, with as much success as this team has had. The tragedy in January, where we lost our beloved Kobe Bryant, his daughter Gigi, and 7 other people. Rest in peace. That's still very heavy on our minds. But I'm not exactly the most religious person, to be honest, but if there is a God and there is a heaven, I don't want to get into too much religious talk here, but hey, Kobe is looking down from up above, and I know he's proud, if heaven does exist, let's just say. If you are religious, if you believe in God and all that, yeah, okay, Kobe is looking down and he's proud, and let's continue to make him proud. Yeah, I guess my eyes are kind of dry right now because I thought of all that around the time the final buzzer sounded, and this is like a couple hours afterwards. But man, we're going back to the finals, and I'm pumped. Let's go. Still got 4 left to go. We're not taking our foot off the gas now. Now, I also talked about what this means for LeBron James and for his legacy. And I think in 2016, that made him definitively second to Jordan. Now, this year, let's say he wins the final. That'll make him a much closer second to Jordan than he already is. If the Lakers somehow manage to lose, though, it'll set him a little further apart. Now, I really don't like the NBA Finals record argument because that just ignores context. The only finals you can really fault LeBron for is 2011. 07 and 2018, it was a miracle for the Cavs to even make it to the finals, even in a weak Eastern Conference. In 2015, yeah, Kyrie and Kevin Love being hurt changed everything. 2014, even though Kawhi did hold his own, guarding LeBron in the finals, for the whole series though, LeBron still put up 27 points per game on 57% from the field. It was really Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh that disappeared in that series. 17 and 18, against Kevin Durant, Stephen Curry, Klay Thompson, Draymond Green Warriors, yeah, there's no way Michael Jordan's Bulls would have beat them either. Just absolutely not. And I don't consider Scottie Pippen a guy you can actually build a championship team around. A great second best player, yes. But a guy you can build a championship team around, no. And I mean no disrespect to Scottie Pippen. Rusty Buckets did a video on this a while ago. I'll put a link to that in the description so I don't just copy everything he says. But yeah, I don't think that Scottie Pippen was the guy you want to build your team around if you're trying to win a championship. But Stephen Curry and Kevin Durant though, yes, absolutely guys that you can build a championship around. And the Warriors had a much better third option in Klay Thompson. So yeah. In fact, Rusty Buckets did another video on that too, so I'll put a link to that in the description as well. So, right now, yes, MJ first, LeBron second, but they're not that far apart. If LeBron wins this year and next year though, because the circumstances are definitely going to be tougher next year, then I think you can say that LeBron has dethroned Michael Jordan. We have yet to see that though. And there are arguments in favor of Michael Jordan too, even if LeBron wins next year, like the fact that MJ won Defensive Player of the Year, or the fact that he scored 40 points per game in the 93 finals against a pretty solid defensive team in the Suns. I know Charles Barkley wasn't a great defender, but they had other guys on that team that could play defense. They were the 8th ranked defense that year. And you can use the flu game where he scored 38 points in an NBA Finals game. Or should we say food poisoning? Because we saw The Last Dance. We know the story. But hey, aside from LeBron's legacy though, I'm a Lakers fan first, not of any player first. So with that said, let's go Lakers. I'm pumped to be back in the finals, but we still got unfinished business. Still got 4 more to win before we really can celebrate. Yes, I'm celebrating a little bit right now. I'm making this video as a part of my celebration, but still got more to go. Alright, so hey, let's finish the job, okay? That's the main thing. That's the main thing right now. We gotta finish the job. But for now, let's enjoy this, and that's the end of this video. Please remember to like and subscribe. I actually forgot to say that at the beginning because I was just so amped up about the Lakers making it back to the finals. So, that's it for now, and I'll see you next time.